It was 11 o'clock at night. Jackson sat alone in his small apartment, staring at the law books scattered across his table. Tomorrow was his third attempt at the bar exam. He had already failed twice. 3 years of studying, 3 years of sacrifice, and still, he had nothing to show for it. His friends had stopped believing in him. Some even laughed and said, "This kid has wasted 3 years of his life." But Jackson knew the real cost of those 3 years. His mother, Susan, was sick. Her hospital bills were growing every month, and his father, Robert, had started driving a taxi every night just to pay for his son's education. Jackson looked at the books in front of him, his eyes filled with tears. Then he whispered, "What's the point? I can't do this anymore." He closed the book, grabbed his backpack, and walked out. He wandered through the cold streets with no destination. Eventually, he reached an old abandoned train station. The platform was dark. Fog covered the railway tracks. And then Jackson noticed something strange. An old man was sitting beside a tiny coffee cart. His name was Henry. Jackson sat beside him. Without asking a single question, Henry handed him a hot cup of coffee. Then he quietly said, "Son, the taste of failure is bitter, but the taste of giving up is even more bitter." Jackson looked at him. Henry placed a hand over his heart. "I gave up on my dream 45 years ago. I wanted to become a doctor. I had an important exam too, but one night, I lost my courage. I walked away." Henry looked toward the empty tracks, and ever since that night I have asked myself, what if I had stayed? Those words hit Jackson hard. Suddenly, he remembered his mother lying in a hospital bed. Then he remembered his father driving that taxi late at night, working because he believed in his son. Jackson's eyes filled with tears. He stood up, looked at Henry, and simply said, "Thank you." Then he ran home. He opened his books again, and studied through the entire night. The clock passed midnight, then 2, then 4. His eyes were burning, his body was exhausted, but this time, he refused to stop. The next morning, Jackson walked into the examination hall. He was nervous, his hands were shaking, but he stayed. He took a deep breath and began writing. 3 months later, Jackson sat alone in his apartment waiting for the results. Suddenly, his phone rang. Unknown number. With trembling hands, he answered. "Hello?" A voice said, "Congratulations, Jackson. You passed the bar exam." Jackson froze. The phone slipped from his hand. Tears rolled down his face. After 3 years, after 2 failures, he had finally done it. His mother cried tears of happiness. His father sat inside his taxi, closed his eyes, and smiled proudly. That night, Jackson returned to the abandoned train station. Jackson asked another coffee vendor, "Do you know an old man named Henry?" The man looked confused. "Henry? No one has been here for years. This station has been abandoned for a very long time." Jackson slowly turned toward the empty bench. His heart began to race. Henry was gone. The coffee cart was gone. And suddenly Jackson understood. Maybe Henry had been real. Or maybe Henry was something else. Maybe he was Jackson's own conscience, arriving at exactly the right moment to stop him from giving up. Because sometimes life doesn't give us a miracle. Sometimes it gives us one final reason to keep going. So if you're struggling right now, if you failed again, if you're thinking about giving up, remember Jackson. Your failure is not the end of your story. You may be closer than you think. Sometimes, all it takes is one more step, one more attempt, one final move can change your entire life.